This is actually episode 120 of the Rhythm and Rhymes podcast. We've been off for about 2 episodes or 3 episodes. We've been saying the wrong number. I'm your host, AJ Hughes. I'm here with my co-host, Antonio Hughes. I want to get into the history of Afrobeats in a global sense quickly. Very quickly. I was thinking about where Afrobeats currently stands. I was listening to Asake and Wizkid got a project coming out, which we're going to talk about later. But I was just thinking about how big it is now or how relevant it is now where like normal people will listen to it and how it always hasn't been that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we just recently in the last couple of years had the biggest Afrobeat song ever with Calm Down. And I started thinking like, what moments before that were as big as that at the time? So I got a quick rundown, just a quick overview. If you have anything to say about it, you can. If not, I think it's good for the audience. The first one was Fela Kuti when he came in with Afrobeat. Musically and sonically, it's not the same thing, but this is the first time there was a major label signed African artist, right? And a lot of Africans now, African musicians, talk back about Fela Kuti with a level of fondness, at least from a musical perspective, right? Burna Boy says that's the only person that he thinks is better than him, you know, if that matters anything. And Fela's music is actually really good. Like a lot of it just feels like jam sessions, 20, 30-minute tracks. So if you're just trying to throw it on in the background, by all means. But I don't know if it's, you know, regular daily Serato. After that was when P Square signed with Akon. You know what I'm saying? Convict Music. P Square is a big Afrobeats group. And I haven't heard a ton of their music, but I know the name because every time I ask my friends who I should listen to, they refer to P Square. D'banj got really big for a moment. He did a collaboration with Kanye West at one point. He was seen with Kanye West for a little while. That was interesting. Before my time, but the pictures were just like, this was a random side quest by Kanye. But okay. And then in the mainstream era, you got Wizkid and Davido being signed by Sony. That's probably what kicked off streaming. And that was around the time Control came out with Drake and stuff like that. After that, I would say Yeah by Burna Boy. Fun fact, that song got so big because people were searching Kanye West around the time. He had changed his name from Kanye West to Ye. So when they were searching Kanye West, they came up with the song, which helped visibility. It was crazy that it happened at the same time, but it did. And then I would say last, I think that was a really big, I can't think of a song between that and Calm Down that was that big. And that was probably my most listened to song of the year. And then obviously Calm Down, which we talked about. But I just thought it was interesting to see how the moments have changed and who's a part of each moment. And even today, like Wizkid being so relevant, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was interesting. And from my perspective as I'm not native to the continent, you know, I'm not African in that way. And so looking at it from my perspective, I thought it was interesting to take a little bit of a look back just very quickly.
I think one of the other moments as far as like you were kind of talking about Wizkid and Davido, but I think like to get specific on that, when Drake dropped One Dance, that really kind of validated it in a sense of like Western music.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. I said Control, but I meant One Dance. You're correct.
Okay. Well, yeah, One Dance definitely was able to make that bridge in a way. And I feel like there were certain artists who at least in the 2020s, 2010s, who started to really not even using Afro beats, but like just started to more, I guess, talk about their African side more, talk about their African lineage, kind of dive into it, learn about it more. And I think that also helped as people being interested. The fact that social media made everything so accessible, it made things less niche and more like front facing. I think that helped a lot. So, I always think it's interesting to look back at this stuff.
Shout out Wale though. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Wale would fit into this, but Wale's been putting African artists on his albums for like 10 years now, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
I want to go to J. Cole, if I'm being honest. because I was just watching the clip of me saying we may never. Was it me or you saying we may never get the fall off?
That was you. I didn't believe
That was
that.
me.
That was
That
you.
was me. You did, yeah, it was me. And then you said early in the year, you did say that, bruh. So you heard the clip, you saw the trailer. What do you think?
I'm excited. I want to hear J. Cole talking all shit. I don't care about what nobody says about. I don't want to hear him talking about he's not the greatest. I don't want to hear him talking about certain
I don't.
topics. I don't care. I don't care. I want to hear J. Cole in full form. I think it's going to be exciting to see like what features he does, because obviously we got something like a 2014 Forest Hills Drive. That one was a project where there was really no features, and then he went on the crazy feature run after. So I'm interested to see what artists he taps. I will say I I didn't love this first song just because I never really liked the whole. I didn't know how much I like.
Backwards.
Yeah, that doesn't really fit with my brain, and maybe I just gotta listen to it more. But even when Nas did it, I was kind of like, okay, like and that's just, I think that's just a personal thing. I think I guess it still shows ability. It still shows your like ability to think differently and then kind of go front to back instead of or I mean back to front instead of front to back. So I think that was pretty cool. But yeah, and I'm sad. I feel like it's end of an era for real. We have another thing talking about kind of like the playlist era, but that whole Wale, Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, that whole era of them being the biggest artists, them being the faces, I feel like it's coming to an end, and J. Cole is kind of just the first person willing to, say that.
I hear that, bro. I agree. I echo a lot of the sentiments that you put out. I think the backward songs is more just, yo, look how well I put words together. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool, but I don't know if it's 100% replayable. Um, the conspiracy people have me interested to see if Dave will be on this album. They chopped like 3 seconds and heard a vocal in the background of the trailer, and they're like, "That sounds like Dave." And they did the same thing for West Side Gun. I think that would be pretty cool, because Dave, yeah, these Americans don't know Dave, bro. That would be a crazy feature. He's only done one American feature in his whole career.
Drake wasn't.
No, that's not a feature. That was his song. I was saying another. The only song was "Stop Giving Me Advice" with Jack Harlow.
Okay.
And Lyrical Lemonade, which I think is crazy. I thought, I don't know, if Dave is on this album, I would be happy. I'm trying not to think too much about it until we get the actual project, and I'm glad it's a double disc. So that's where I'll leave it.
Yeah, I definitely think. I hope he has JID on here, just because I always like to hear JID, but I feel like him and JID have so many songs together at this point, like 21 Savage too. So I would definitely like to hear some of those newer artists. I hope too that he tapped people like a Nas, or maybe he got a Jay-Z on here, like some of the people he looked up to. For like
I don't think we ever get in Jay-Z Cole like we should have. We're never gonna get it.
You don't think so?
I think Jay-Z's done rapping.
You think Jay-Z is done rapping for real?
Yes. Yes, I think he's done. That's one of the artists I want to see in concert, but I feel like I'll never get to see.
I'm kind of confused on, I guess, why. Maybe Nas just still has the hunger for it, but like, why would Nas keep rapping and Jay-Z don't got no inkling to rap? Especially because Nas also has a lot of business ventures, just like Jay-Z does. Like, did you know he was one of the first people to invest in Ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think, no matter what people say, I don't think Jay-Z became an artist for the love of the game.
Yeah. I can see that.
I think he rapped for the love of the game, but I don't think that's the same thing.
Right.
I don't think he became an artist for the love of the game. You know what I'm saying? And I think he was like, yo, I'm good at this. I kind of like it. I'm going to go get some money out of it. The moment he was like, oh, so we Def Jam over it? All right, bet. Let's do it. Or I could just sign Rock Nation. Let's do it. You know, I don't think he was in here like, you know what? Let me go put in the best rap album of all time. I don't think he cared about it.
Yeah. He was more so focused on like the business side and like the money side of it than, oh, I want to be the greatest. So, yeah. I
I
get
feel like his financial goals were bigger than his rap goals,
you.
and so once the financial goals started uh, conflicting with the rap goals, it's like, what do I need to rap for?
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess you kind of gotta pick in that sense and do what makes the
You
most.
don't have to. Like, I think Nas is a great example. I think Nas is a great example. I don't think you have to. Um, but you can't be the guy at everything.
Right.
You got to pick something.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I wanted to ask this quickly about the playlist era. I make a lot of playlists still to this day. I'm Mr. Playlist. I probably would have been making cassettes before. How many Spotify playlists do you check every week?
I don't check any every week. I probably check in the I think I check into the one like there's one called CST that's mainly like Midwest music. I check into that probably once a month. I think it's always good to see who's on Rap Caviar. I usually don't go there to actually listen, but
I don't go there anymore.
I still go there to see like what artists are on there to see if there's any new names I haven't seen. And then sometimes I will still go to the like if it's like a genre where I don't feel like I'm that um I guess hip to it. Like let's say of course I listen to reggaeton, but there are different artists that I just wouldn't hear if I didn't go to some of their playlists or stuff like that. So
Right. But there's no one playlist you check every week.
no, no, not anymore.
This this is the current conundrum with streaming, which I think is interesting. Basically saying when streaming started, you could just put all of this is the Latino sector. This is where the Latino people are going to listen to music on Spotify. The Latino New Music Latin is what it's called. But I'm using Latino. We can just put the song on there and it's going to get X amount of streams because everybody who's in this demographic is checking this playlist. That was, or at least a large percentage of people are. The problem now is that's no longer the case, especially from the platform perspective, right? And so now people are trying to figure out where they can like essentially program their music, which I think is very interesting, just mainly because there's no one place to go find music anymore, um, which I think for the general consumer is a little bit concerning.
Yeah, I even think when it comes to radio, there was a separate article I saw that was specifically talking about how in Australia, they upped the price for how much artists and producers were getting paid for like songs getting played on the radio. Because in the U.S. right now, it's $0, but out there you would get like, I think it was like I want to say it was damn near like 5 cents a play or something. Some low. It was low
That
regardless.
5 cents a play is kind of crazy if you're getting 200 spins a day on one station on one song.
Yeah, yeah. So like they were basically saying that radio is no longer the main way that people are going to hear new music, and then now then it was like SoundCloud, and then it became even like TikTok. Like there's still new ways for I guess the general person to hear music, but it's also does that convert and like we were talking about a lot of the times people do get their stuff off of TikTok. They hear artists on TikTok, but they're not going to go and listen to it on SoundCloud. They're not going to then go and convert to a Spotify. So, um, I definitely think that's something that's a little bit different. I think the playlists just don't take as much precedent, especially when they keep adding all these new features to Spotify. Like there's so much other stuff going on that it's like, why am I just worried about this playlist? And people started like you were kind of like one of those people who just rap caviar sucks. Like some of these playlists suck. Like they're not that great. They're kind of just hitting every artist you would think they would hit and not truly the best music that's coming out at the time. The actual, I guess you could call it rap caviar or whatever, because that's what they want to call it. But um things have just shifted. Like everything's changing. So
Yeah. Um, yeah, I have my thoughts, but for the podcast, I think I'll leave it there. I think it's interesting. Um, I want to ask you about. Did you go outside after the Bears won?
nah, bro, I was pissed. You said after they won because they lost last
Yeah,
night.
not. I know they lost last night. I'm saying after they won.
Oh nah, because I knew Chicago was gonna be crazy, and it's cold. Like
That's what
if
I'm saying.
Yeah, if you ask me when it's like during the winter, I don't be wanting to do nothing. I can't even lie. That season will be kicking me, bro.
Yeah, I feel that, but I was down here like, bro, there was Bears fans down here like in Jacksonville going OD. So I
Mhm.
was like, I couldn't imagine. I would be outside in my Tim's, -10 degrees. That would be the one time. It's like, bro, we've never seen this in our lifetime. The Bears are good.
Yeah, but the
Like,
thing about it is,
it's momentum. Like, I can feel it down here.
mhm. And honestly, like really until overtime last night, it was still here. I felt all of the momentum. Like everything felt cool, and then he threw that pick, bro. Like that was just that took the soul out of me because I was also already sitting here mad that Houston beat the Steelers because I'm a Steelers fan. But
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't even want to watch the playoffs anymore. Like this is making me mad. Like that whole sequence, bro.
Shout out, bear down. I'm down here telling people for a week. I was telling people bear down, and I'm not even a Bears fan.
Bear down, always bear down. I think we got another 2 or 3 seasons where we look pretty good, honestly.
Potentially,
Yeah.
potentially. Some of the mixtapes are looking crazy online.
hmm
Um, do you okay now? Do you believe Bruno Mars actually sold more tickets than anybody else ever on Ticketmaster in a single day?
Yes, just because the fact that Bruno Mars is still one of the biggest artists on the planet. Um, I don't think Ticketmaster had as much. When did Ticketmaster even like? When was
Ticketmaster's been around for like damn near 20 something years, bro.
Yeah, so the only other person I'm thinking just off the top of my head, like there's no way he sold more than this person would be Mike Prince.
I'm thinking
Those
even
people.
like Taylor Swift. I don't know.
Well, Taylor Swift too.
Bad Bunny.
But my thing is Bruno Mars is in the Taylor Swift Bad Bunny. He's in that lane. Like absolutely in that lane. He has
I don't think so.
dude, AJ.
No, listen. This is why I don't think so. And maybe it's because he came before the streaming era for real. That like it don't feel like in the last 10 years, it do not feel like he done had Bad Bunny motion. Sorry.
Okay, so his greatest album, or what people tout as his greatest album, came out exactly 10 years before this in 2016. A lot of people were kind of like, on Silk Sonic, but they still like, he still has like real classics. Like 24 Karat Magic is a classic.
How
Unorthodox
big was that
Jukebox.
album though?
You said how big was it?
Yeah.
Let's look. Let's look at the numbers. Hold on a second. Okay. Um. Okay. So I see. He won 7 Grammys for it. He That's What I Like reached #1 on Billboard and is diamond. 24 Karat Magic peaked at 4. Um, Finesse peaked at 3, and the album debuted at 2. Only blocked by Metallica, which is another classic group. So we can just talk about that. And it's certified 4 times platinum. So I think it was pretty big. And even before
Four
that,
times platinum on a so you're saying 4 times platinum.
mhm.
Is that US or worldwide?
I don't know if it
That's
didn't.
probably US.
Yeah, in the U.S. Yeah, it's in the U.S. And then he sold over 1 million tickets in a single day for that tour, and that was 10 years ago. So I don't know. I think maybe people are writing off the fact of like they've seen him before and they're trying to like give him that type of not even benefit of the doubt, but they just know what they're getting out of Bruno Mars as far as live show. Because people say his live show is honestly one of the best things about him as an artist. So that's one of the other reasons it doesn't surprise me because I think it's also nostalgia for a lot of people. A lot of those artists in the rock lane, at least, when you think about the Metallicas, the Guns N' Roses, the Green Days, like those type of people, they're still selling massive amounts of tickets off of strictly nostalgia and old music. And Unorthodox Jukebox and Doo-Wops and Hooligans, those 2 albums, a lot of people grew up with those, at least that now have the bread to go and splurge on a Bruno Mars show. I'm
What
yapping.
what do you think? What do you think Bruno Mars sold globally across his career?
What do I think?
I have the
Just
numbers in
like
front of me.
um globally. I mean, I think he still went maybe
Stop
gold.
looking stuff up. Just
I'm
guess.
not I'm
Just
not
guess.
looking stuff up. I'm literally thinking about it. All I have in front of me is the albums. But I'm saying I think I'd probably give him gold or platinum on all of these.
How many millions?
Let's just say I don't know how music is quantified anymore. Let's just say 2 million each album. I don't know. I don't know how they're really quantified as far as like
How many? Okay, so if it's 2 million and it's 4 hours, so you say 10 million would be a good number.
sure.
What would you say Bad Bunny sold?
Mm, probably 100. But I still think that doesn't change my factor in the
Bruno
fact.
Mars did. They said 25 million would be a low estimate.
Mhm.
35 to 40 would be about right. Bad Bunny has cleared 100 million albums. So globally,
Yeah. But I mean that still to me doesn't change how big of a pop star Bruno Mars is.
I'm
And why would
taking
they how do they
down the
inflate
Live
ticket?
Nation cartel.
How do they inflate
I'm
tickets?
taking them down. I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm doing my investigative journalism. The math is not mathing.
I just
The math is not mathing.
I feel like if there's anything that is hard to fake, it's ticket sales because
I
that's the
ain't
one
seen nobody whine upon a Bruno Mars rhythm.
I know
Sorry.
mad people. I know
Sorry.
everything ain't about the wine though. Like I know mad people who were sitting in that queue. They had to add more shows in multiple cities. I think it was over. How many cities was it? They had to add more.
Ticketmaster, count your days. I'm about to get on my investigative journalism piece
He added
and it's gonna be
32 new
over for
dates,
y'all.
AJ.
I'm just saying. I'm
God,
just
bro.
saying. All right. Shout out Bruno Mars. You know what I'm saying? 2.1. Woo. You did it. You did it, big dog. Yeah. Yo, I want to say Asake and Wizkid releasing a project was so exciting to me. And after this New Music Friday, I was a little bit whelmed. I was whelmed for a couple of reasons. One, it's only a 4-track EP. I needed 10. I needed 10 songs. 10 of their songs would have been perfect. And I'm more whelmed because I really like this song. Jogodo by Asake and Wizkid is a banger. That song is really good. It took me, the first time I listened to it, and the first time I listened to a lot of Wizkid music, I don't love it. But the second or third or fourth time, I be thinking, Wizkid knows better than me. He knows better than me what's a vibe. And so I go back and listen to it, and I really enjoyed this song. Were you able to hear this?
I did hear this song. It was one of the songs I listened to first on Friday. I always love to hear Ashake Wizkid. It's like freaking D Wade throwing Bron the lob, bro. It works every time. So
Magic Sticks on the production. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know.
that was Chris Bosh, bro. No bad.
Chris Bosh. Yo, Magic Sticks being Chris Bosh is sick. That's elite ball knowledge. That's funny. I'm excited for the EP though. It's coming out in a little bit. I would love to see them put more music out together. They make a lot of sense to me for some reason. I don't know. And it made me think the one I want, but that will never get. I want Burna Boy J Hus.
You think
I want a Burna Boy. They got enough songs out. You could put their songs on. You could put their songs together, and it's an EP. They could give us an EP.
I think they'll do it. I feel like they work together enough to where they probably will end up doing that. But the other thing is, J Hus doesn't drop very frequently, so that would be.
That's what I'm saying. If J Hus stay outside, if J Hus stays outside, maybe. Like he just put out the song with Skepta, Outside. Funny enough. But I read somewhere which may not be true. And as I started listening to it, I felt the same way. It was like 7 years old.
That song?
Somebody said that song is old. It's a J5 production too. J5 hasn't really been working with J Hus over the last couple of years. I saw that they were back in the studio. I don't know. I got to go double check, do my Googles on this part. But I I don't want to bet on J Hus staying outside. I would love it. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, you don't want to keep your hopes up for that. He recludes back in the crib so many times. Oh my god, words are beating my ass today, guys. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So you got a burn. So I'd want a Burna Boy J Hus. Who do I want to hear? I wouldn't even mind the Davido Chris Brown project that we were supposed to get.
I think that would be fire.
That would be hard, but I don't think we're gonna get it. At this point, I don't think we're gonna get it. But I would have loved it.
Yeah, I think Chris Brown's more focused on that whole stadium tour thing. I feel like, what if he did that like every year? I feel like he's just gonna bring that back, like keep bringing it back.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out Chris Brown. Um, don't be dumb, ASAP Rocky. What do you think of this project so far?
So far I actually like it. I think I came into it like I don't really listen to ASAP Rocky like that no more. A lot of the stuff we've heard from him as far as music, recently before this, I was kind of like, like it's okay. Last time we got an album from him was 8 years ago. Testing was great. Like I love that album. That's probably honestly in full, that's probably my favorite ASAP project. Of course, there's at
Same.
long last ASAP. There's other ones that were like classic nostalgic, but I think that one was like sound wise crazy. Still a lot of great songs on there. So I think I almost said overwhelmed, but that's not what it is. It was just more whelmed than I expected to be. I think this was a pretty good album so far. I think I'm still kind of in between on the whole punk rocky thing, like him kind of doing the
Um,
rock beats and stuff like that. But that's to keep the times.
I agree. I think my sentiment after what I've heard is just too early to tell. It's too eclectic or dense of an album for me to give any opinion on it. There were some songs that I liked though. I
Mm-hmm.
will say that there's a song called "No Trespassing." The
No.
beat on there is crazy. The
Mm-hmm.
beat on there is crazy, and there was no producer listed, which was kind of made me mad. There's another song on there with Brent Fayez. It's called um, where's it at, bro? Is it No Trust? No. See. I don't even remember. I was just listening to it and I heard it. Oh, Stay Here for Life. Stay Here for Life is the one with Brent Fayez. It's produced by Hit Boy. I like that song.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any real opinions of this album yet, but I will say there are songs on there that I like.
Yeah, I think the.
Um,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done. My bad.
I was just gonna say I wasn't excited for this project, but when I started listening to this project, it reminded me how much I loved the last one. So I said I got to give it a real listen.
Yeah, I think that's always important. I think, especially with artists who take forever to drop, like it's easy to forget that, like how quality they could be and how good some of their previous albums were to, I guess, have in comparison. Like, I feel like every other album ASAP had released before this was a quality album, and I think it's always good to still give that person a chance. Like, even though I feel like just for who I am, I was listening to Wale growing up more than I was listening to ASAP Rocky. But I kind of felt that same
Same.
way. Yeah, yeah. But I kind of felt that same way about the Wale project. Like when it initially was coming out, I was like, I don't know, like Wale 2026. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, and it blew me out the water. So.
I think the only ASAP moment I remember from like when I was a kid is One Train.
Hmm.
One Train was hard, but I feel like that's a little bit before my time, which means it's before your time.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like 2011, 12, something like that. I don't know. I just remember hearing Kendrick and ASAP, and I'm like, oh, this is hard. Um, Other than that, not too much else came out. You listen to Wiz Khalifa's album. Oh my god.
So Wiz, oh my god, I said it too. Wiz Khalifa, not Wiz Kid, put out an album called Chaotic. I really like this project. I always love to hear what Wiz Khalifa comes out with. I don't know if I'm just like a low key Wiz Khalifa stan, but like I haven't heard a project by Wiz Khalifa in a minute that I wasn't like, this is pretty solid. Even like the last Kush and OJ, I like that album as well. But this album sounded very good. I felt like Wiz Khalifa was on here rapping. Sometimes he'll get more in his melodic bag. Really felt like he was rapping on here. Just some of the songs I liked. RN Check with Skilla Baby. I always like to hear Skilla Baby on songs. If you know, you know, and that's no pun intended, because if you know, you know, when it comes to Juicy J for me, I Juicy J is crazy to me. I love hearing Juicy J
I mean,
music.
some pimping, man.
Yeah, literally.
That's some pimping, man.
Literally. And then we got your boy Max B on here. We got your boy Max B on here. But you know, that song was okay. And then 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz has been rapping his ass off for a minute. So I definitely think this is something y'all should go check out.
I'm definitely interested in our era's rappers staying relevant. So I'm gonna give this a listen. I just been on a different vibe musically recently, but it's definitely gonna enter my Serato. Speaking of Max B, did you see the On the Radar of Max B?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I don't wanna spend too much time on it because you know he said what he said. But I feel like On the Radar, I feel like had a opportunity to be like Rap City and TV for a moment, like where dudes just come up there to rap. And now it's just like, what are we doing? That's why I sent you a video of Setch on the Radar. And I was like, they lost the whole plot. They lost the whole plot. Why is Setch makes Panamanian reggaeton music? Why is he on the Radar?
Yeah, it kind of didn't make no sense. It's kind of like pick a lane type of thing.
Bro,
pick a lane.
All right. There's a dude. I think I've talked about him on here before. The dude that was DJing and playing the drums and stuff like that. And I was like, yo, what's happened? I was like, yo, like, what is this? This is a talent show now. And it made me kind of disappointed because I really enjoyed a lot of the freestyles. But then I saw a video of him talking about like, and this be the thing with like creative pursuits. Him talking about the times that they lost money or trying to make it profitable and stuff like that. And it's like, if you don't have a way, if the goal is completely, this is a great thing. If the goal is completely monetary, it'll cause you to do things that like mess with the foundation of the thing you're trying to build. Because the money isn't always going to be linear into what you're doing.
It's never linear, to be honest.
It's never linear, but sometimes like the pathways that are the most lucrative are not aligned with the thing that you're building. And then you have to figure out like, okay, is this thing at its most mature lucrative enough for me? Or do I have to pivot what I'm trying to do to fit this other lane? You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, it's like, can you make it just straight freestyles and hip hop of like actually artists that like people love? Can you make that lucrative? You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't feel like he thought so. You know what I'm saying? Especially, and you go on the page like, bro, I could get you up there. I could get you up there. I could get, if you gave me 3 months, we could relaunch your rap career and I could get you on the radar.
Hey guys, if I come back with that backyard part 2, y'all better be in the comments, like it, share it out.
Hey man, he finna be in 360, 720, 180 deal. He better be signed to the R&R podcast. You better just.
Yo, hell no. Welcome to death, but that's nigga.
literally. But I just feel like, I don't know, looking at it, it's like, dang, it's hard to, because there aren't platforms everybody can go to for a thing now. It's like, who's doing the programming? Who's doing the radio program? Who's the program directors? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're looking at what they're putting out and what they're trying to put into it's all of it. Like, you want people to hear all of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to. And I only think about that because of what we do. It's like, do you want people to really hear all of this? You know what I'm saying? If the answer is yes, you gotta shut the fuck. Yeah, that's his preference. Okay, I respect that. But my thing is like, Sesh don't need to be up there.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely should have like picked a lane, stuck with it, and I think they probably were worried about over niching themselves and blocking themselves from having those other opportunities. But it's like there is so much opportunity just from that thing that you started with. So why didn't you find every single way to, I guess, I don't want to say drain that, but like exasperate that option until it's completely on it, so you have no.
I thought when they were up there at Kai on the Mafia-thon, that was cold. That was cold. I didn't watch every single one of them, but I watched some of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you could find different ways to, you know what I'm saying? I feel like as a part of something, but maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's like a YouTube channel of people freestyling maybe it's not that alone, maybe isn't lucrative.
But When you saw the um like the information he was talking about where they weren't making money or the interview, how long ago was that? Like I feel like they
That
started
was like
naming enough artists.
yesterday. I watched that.
But when was the interview like recorded? Like when did he say it was that they
His beard in that video looked like it looked now.
so that was recent where they were saying they couldn't make no money?
Okay, but think about what we're providing, right? What do you think he got paid to have Drake on the YouTube channel?
Not much, but you have the rights to the YouTube. Even if you had to split that with Drake, those views should bring you in money. You should be getting YouTube monetization checks. And
Okay, but this is where like I always talk about YouTube cannot, if YouTube is your main revenue stream, bro, you finna be dancing, you finna be cooning it up. You know what I'm saying? Because like the way that advertising revenue works on YouTube, like music is one of the lowest RPMs, which is like revenue per thousand views. So even if he's monetized, bro, you'd have to make like a billion, like 100 million views or something crazy for it to be substantial enough to be like, okay, we can run a business off of this. You know what I'm saying? It's
yes,
not like a
but
lot of people didn't see it, but I just don't think like. And the only reason I say this is because 90% of their freestyles are people you never heard of nor wanted to go back to listen to, which aren't gaining a ton of like. He's got freestyles on there with 100 views, 150 views. Like people don't want to see. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
so I don't think the culmination of all of the things that he's make, all of the freestyles. I'm just talking about freestyles. Maybe that's not enough to run a business alone. That's why it might be a complimentary thing as opposed to like Rap City might have been a bad example because it was on MTV can afford to make Rap City and not even think about it at the time that they made it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if this is the only thing you do, you know, even though was it Power 102 or whatever, the dudes in LA,
Hmm.
the that's a radio station. You got people up at the radio station for other reasons. It's like, bro, you want to rap?
I'm not gonna lie
That's
though.
a, that.
I think why I was thinking that, and then I guess we could get off it. But the reason I was thinking that is also like, um, words are escaping me today. Jesus, like the breadth of how much they were putting out. Like I felt like you're putting out enough content frequently that over the span of all of this put together, I feel like you would be making decent money. But I don't know. You're probably right. You know
I
more
think
about the analytics than I do. So
I think, and that's where the volume, the quality quantity conversation is interesting, right? Because you have to put a lot out early enough to even get heard, or for people to even see you. You know what I'm saying? And then from that, you have to figure out what's working the best. Because you might have the views that do a little bit better, and you have to incrementally improve until a lot of people are seeing it and it's getting to a lot of people. But then if you're still putting out the stuff that a lot of people aren't liking, like you aren't learning from that stuff, then the content essentially gets watered down. You know what I'm
right.
saying? If you got 15 freestylers from Timbuktu that everybody's not listening to and they get 10 views, you know what I'm saying? If you're posting 3 freestyles a day after that, I ain't gonna want to see it because I watched 4 of your videos and they wasn't good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about him anymore, just in general. But that's really you got to have quantity, you got to grow quality, and then if you can maintain the quality, you can keep the quantity. But if you can't, you got to decrease the quantity because then you'll get watered down. People will stop caring about it because they watch 4 pieces of content that aren't valuable and they watch one that is, over a period of time, they're gonna start having a different sentiment about you because the most of the stuff that they're seeing from you is stuff that they don't like.
Yeah. That see, and when you explain it like that, it makes a lot more sense to me because I'm over here. I think I was more so on the fact of like you're putting out a lot of stuff. I constantly see Rap Radar. You got more eyes being on Kai's stream, all that, but also it's about that conversion and what is it actually bringing you. So
And they had a bunch of moments like they broke Ice Spice.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? They broke Ice Spice. There was the I think Ray J going up there is, I think that's more satirical and comedy.
that was
You know what I'm saying?
hilarious.
Right? You know, the Drake moment, they got moments up there where it's like that's where I was like, oh, this is about to be this is where people about to go freestyle, but it don't feel like that no more. Oh, even the Chris Patrick stuff on the Mafia thon.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But it just don't feel like the general sentiment. At least to me, I'm not, let me speak for me. I'm not looking for rappers, backpack rappers, real good rappers on the radar. If it comes across my feed, okay, but I'm not looking for it no more.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You know what it was though? It felt like another place to discover new artists too, because I feel like
It did.
to me, maybe the people who have colors figured it out because I haven't ever heard them say nothing like the dude on the radar said, and they bring up rappers, people who speak French, Jill Scott, like Freddie Gibbs. They brought up anybody and everybody. So I just would want to see what they did differently than a rap radar to still be relevant, in my opinion.
I think it's hard to. I think it's hard to go from. It's hard to go from niche to broad, or broad to niche. But if you start broad and you get good, then you have an infinite advantage over the ones that started niche.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm doing baile funk, R&B, rap, I'm on piano, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing 5 different genres. And at first I might not be as good, but after 7 years, I'm proficient in all of these, and I got a big enough platform where like people will come watch. Then like if you did 100 rap freestyles and then you go get Setch, how many, you know what I'm saying? It's not the same.
Right.
But that's just strategy. I've often thought about that. You start broad and go niche, or start niche and go broad. And I think there's instances in which both work. But in this instance, I don't know, man.
Yeah, yeah, no, he yeah, that's fucked, bro. That's fucked. I can't say that. That's fucked.
Um, where I want to end it. What new albums did you listen to this week?
You mean like of my 104?
Yeah.
So this was one of the weeks I actually struggled. Aquemini was the album I picked just because another one hadn't listened to it in full. And I was really having trouble picking because I didn't know who I wanted to listen to, if I wanted to go outside of rap and go to a different genre, because I didn't know how I was gonna do this. I didn't structure it the right way. But I did Aquemini, and then I also listened to Her's first project again too.
Okay. I think I'm not telling you how to do it. I think you shouldn't. I think the confine being these are the 2 albums I'm looking to do this week is enough. I don't think you should try and restrict it to I got to do 14 rap or 17 R&B.
Yeah.
Whatever comes across. Aquemini is so niche and random. I would have never expected that to have been the one that you chose. It's a good album though. I really like that album. Did you make it all the way through or no?
Yeah, yeah. And I will say, I think the biggest thing I took from it is the fact that a lot of people always talk about how they don't know who's the better rapper, Big Boy or Andre. And I think this was one of those albums that definitely started that conversation in general. Like there was multiple songs.
100%.
Yeah, like there was multiple songs where I was sitting there waiting to hear Andre 3000, and there was a 3 minute, 2 minute verse of Big Boy going crazy, and I would be sitting here like, where Andre at? Like, is this nigga gonna pick up? Like shit like that. But I don't know. I think it was a good album for sure.
The artist storytelling on that project, J. Cole samples that on Born Sinner in Land of the Snakes, the song. I love that song by J. Cole. It's the shit I used to roll down Lewis Street, Red. That song is hard. But I love that project too. Aquemini. I listened to it a couple years ago. I was probably around your age when I listened to it.
You think so?
Yeah, and the songs that I liked on it, I like Liberation with CeeLo Green, that one a lot. And then Slump. Slump is hard. That's bruh. I ain't gonna lie, I love being in the South. I miss home, but I love the South.
Dude, I miss the South every single day. Trust me. Like the South is crazy, but it's a good crazy. I'm not gonna cap.
It's a good time. I had one more random topic I wanted to ask you about, but I forgot.
It'll come back.
It was something random. It'll come back to me at some point. We didn't make definitive song recommendations. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first because I'm doing something right now.
Okay. LMA put out a song 100. I think the real R&B Dwayne Wade LeBron combo, and I don't know if it's Bron, but it's like they're that 1-2. You know what I'm saying? LMA and mustard. What? This song is crazy. I love this song. This song is so good. I want y'all to go listen to it, please. And then I would say um Tired by G Herbo featuring Lil Bibby. I saw a clip of G Herbo talking about missing Lil Bibby rapping. I went and listened to this song. And I was like, he was one of them ones. You know what I'm saying? He was one of them ones, man. So shout out Lil Bibby. Those are my two songs of the week.
Sorry, my mic got muted. Oh, okay. So this week I'm gonna come at y'all with some Super Bowl readiness because who we got Super Bowl? We got Bad Bunny this year, you know, and a lot of people don't know Bad Bunny music. A lot of people don't know the hits. They don't know what they're gonna hear. I got you. I got you. Let me give you two songs real quick. We gonna go to Un Verano Sin Ti because you know I've been learning my Spanish. I've been on Duolingo, 15 days strong. But Después de la Playa, great Bad Bunny song. And then I'll give y'all Effecto. One of my best friends. I'll still call him one of my best friends. I remember him coming to me with this song when we were like 17, 18. And he was like, if you ever around the chicas, that's what he said too. He said chicas. I'm not that's the words from his mouth. He said, if you ever around the chicas, turn this on. They love it. So those are my two. I'm gonna always go to Un Verano Sin Ti, one of Bad Bunny's best albums. Y'all go check those two out.
I co-signed this. This song, it came out in 2022, so you were like 18 or 19, 18, 19.
Mm-hmm.
I was outside.
Mm-hmm.
I was outside. I'm gonna leave it there. I was in Puerto Rico. I was outside.
You was in Puerto Rico at that time when it came out?
Bro, yeah, those songs I heard them out in
Nutty.
Old San Juan. If you
Nutty.
know, you know. If you know, you know. I like those recommendations though. I'm excited for the hate campaign Bad Bunny about to get because I just think it's gonna be so crazy. Especially right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to be crazy. He gonna do something on stage where he gonna be like a big Ice Cube or something like that. He ain't gonna, fuck. You know what I'm saying? He gonna do something like that.
Hey, the week he comes out, I'm bringing in a Puerto Rico flag. I'm gonna order it. Just the week that Super Bowl come on, I'm wearing my Puerto Rico flag all week. Just so y'all know.
All right, y'all. Tune in to, you know what I'm saying, R&R content, modern radio for the global black sound. I found the hook. I found it, y'all. Modern radio for the global black sound.
I like that.
We'll see y'all next week, man.
Deuce.